Do you want to build a cheap Intel gaming computer that could easily handle your favorite games? Is every dollar important to you and you want to save time searching for the optimal components? Then you are very lucky, because today we're gonna build the cheapest and highest quality PC with Intel for just $650. According to statistics, this is one of the most popular budgets, and the recently released Intel Core i3 10100, which has 4 cores and 8 threads, is perfect for it. First, we will unpack and show you all the components. Then we will build our PC and start testing it. To make the most objective conclusions, we'll compare our PC with similar computers with Ryzen 3 3100 and 3300X. These guys have also 4 cores and 8 threads, and this budget battle between Intel and AMD is really intriguing. Which one of them will show more FPS? Post your comments down below. We start with unpacking the processor. We've got the box version with a cooler, so we'll use it. This is the 10th generation of Intel and is based on the Comet Lake microarchitecture built on a 40nm manufacturing process. It ticks at 3.6 GHz and has a maximum turbo boost frequency of 4.3. It is equipped with only 6 MB of L3 cache memory. It will be interesting to see whether Intel's $130 offer has potential in a competitive environment and whether it can lure the crowd of entry-level gaming PCs from AMD. Since Intel's new CPUs will use the new socket, the company has forced its motherboard partners to announce the products based on the cost-effective B460 and H410 chipsets, because bundling the Core i3 with the $150 Z49 motherboard makes little sense. We've got the most affordable and optimal option, and this is Asus Prime H410MK with a new LGA 1200 socket. Do not expect miracles from this motherboard. It is not designed for overclocking and there is nothing special about it. This board will perfectly cope with its task. As RAM, we've got a 16GB ballistic support kit from Crucial running at a clock frequency of 3000 MHz with CL16 timings. At this moment, 16GB is the minimum for a gaming PC, because new projects will use at least 10GB of memory. We've got ballistic sports because it is the best memory from Crucial. It is fast and efficient, and due to the global situation, it is not easy to find it, but if you try, you can find it at an affordable price. As drives, we'll use a 1TB WD Blue HDD with a spindle speed of 7200 RPM. This drive earned the respect of many gamers a long time ago, given the volume of modern games, which sometimes exceeds 100 GB. This budget guy really helps out. As a necessity, we've got the BX500 from Crucial with a capacity of 120 GB. This is a great budget drive that will accommodate your Windows and give it more speed. As a graphics card, we've got the GTX 1650 Super from Gigabyte. It has a small radiator and only one fan, but this is enough for cooling, because this card is quite cold. On the back panel we see one HDMI, one DisplayPort and one DVI-D with which we can connect 3 monitors simultaneously. Since this card is built on the latest Turin architecture and has 4GB of modern GDDR6 memory, it will perfectly cope with all new games in Full HD resolution. This video card is the best budget solution in terms of price and quality. We strongly do not recommend you to buy a video card at a lower level, because this is the minimal comfortable option. If your budget allows, it's better for you to pay attention to the GTX 1660 Super. This is a good graphics card. It will add FPS to your games. We often use it in our builds. You can find a video in our channel. As a power supply unit, we have Aerobronze 550W from Aerocool. Yes, from Aerocool. Aerocool was really able to make a high quality budget power supply. We were pleasantly surprised ourselves. It has an 80+ bronze standard and excellent efficiency. It has Japanese capacitors installed, which indicate a good quality. It comes with bolts for installation, a power cord, and it looks very good. Pay attention to its wires. They're quite thin, and it will be very convenient to connect them even in a small case. This is an excellent quality budget power supply that we confidently recommend. We've taken a case called Deep Gaming RGB from Coolbox. This is an unfamiliar company for us, but we like to experiment with cases, and so most often we do not like to recommend them to you, because it's very difficult to find them. The choice of the case is a matter of taste. Someone likes pink, someone multicolored, so it is better to choose the case yourself, and most importantly to save on the case and buy a high-level video card, especially when it comes to a budget build. On the front panel of the case we see two USB 3 audio jacks, RGB button, LED indicators and start button. On the top panel we see air holes and the power supply is located in the lower part of the case. In general, the case looks good. It is small but heavy thanks to the side window made of tempered glass, which certainly gives it reliability. So guys, especially for you, we will leave links to the budget case and all the components from this video in the description. So now we'll quickly build our budget Intel PC and start testing it. First we take our motherboard and open the socket. Then we take our CPU and install it, of course paying attention to the triangles. Then we close the socket. Now we take our cooler and carefully insert it into the motherboard. Now we take our RAM, then click, and it's done. We clicked enough and now it's time to work with the screwdriver. Take our case and first insert the hard drive, then screw it, then the power supply, then install the motherboard and insert the video card. And now it's time to learn the full power of this budget machine. Right now we will compare our computer with exactly the same PCs that have Ryzen 3100 and 3100X. The battle begins and we start with two benchmarks, Cinebench R20 and TimeSpy. In Cinebench, Intel Core i3-10100 has shown 2136 points, AMD Ryzen 3 3100 2296 points, Ryzen 3 3300X has shown the best result of 2584 points. In this test the winner is AMD, but with a very small advantage because all three processors have 4 cores and 8 threads. TimeSpy is the benchmark of gaming performance, and the red team is again leading the way. Intel Core i3-10100 has scored 4669 points, while Ryzen 3 3100 has scored 4733 points, and Ryzen 3 3300X 4873 points. Of course, the difference is insignificant, but it is what it is. Let's see how these guys perform in the games. Maybe the results will change. The first game is Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege with the internal benchmark. All games will be tested in Full HD resolution and all the settings will be selected today by the GeForce Experience utility, which will select the most optimal ones for our system. On your screens you can see the graph that we prepared for clarity, and it shows that Ryzen 3 3100 loses Intel Core i3-10100 and Ryzen 3 3300X, which showed an average of 116 FPS. Metro Exodus. High graphic settings. In this game all three PCs have shown an average of the same FPS, but still, in this game Intel wins, showing a minimum of 23 frames per second, in contrast to AMD, which has only 7 frames. The result is certainly interesting, perhaps this is due to the optimization of the game. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a very demanding game, especially on CPUs, so high graphic settings, and we see that our processors showing an average of more than 60 FPS. Intel wins because the i3-10100 showed a few frames more than its direct competitors from AMD. It is important to note that all these CPUs were not loaded at 100%, and they definitely have potential. Now we're testing the legendary CSGO, which pleases millions of its fans every day. To be honest, in this game all of our team put the bet on Intel because we have heard about high performance for each core, but apparently AMD Zen 2 architecture also has its trumps. In this game Ryzen 3 3300X has shown the best result, just slightly ahead of the rest. Please welcome Shadow of the Tomb Raider. GeForce Experience automatically sets almost the most advanced settings. We see that all our PCs have had a decent result, drawing a more than comfortable number of FPS. We can see that Ryzen 3 3300X drew the most frames, but Intel has the best result, thanks to a good combination of FPS indicators. Fortnite and PUBG are very popular games, and of course we can't ignore them, but it is worth nothing that these games do not have a built-in benchmark, and therefore the results are not the most accurate. Accordingly, without identical testing conditions, the FPS results may differ more than in other games. In Fortnite, Ryzen 3 3100 won, and Intel 10100 was the slowest. We see that all our PCs show approximately the same results in this game, and do not completely trust this test, because in this game it can only show approximate results. Just pay attention to the FPS counter. In PUBG we managed to achieve more stable results due to the fact that in this game we tested all our PCs in the same time period, starting with the jump from the plane. The winner is Ryzen 3 3300X showing 77 FPS. Core i3 10100 takes the second place, and Ryzen 3 3100 has got the bronze medal. Red Dead Redemption 2 internal performance benchmark. In this game, Intel wins, showing an average of 58 FPS. Unlike Intel, the Red team was not so good at making friends with Arthur, who after robbing a small store sped away from the police chase. But still, AMD also has shown a good result, with the greatest GTA 5 internal benchmark. All our PCs have shown a decent result with a difference of only 2-3 FPS. Therefore, all our PCs have become winners. After all the tests, we can say that all three CPUs are very similar, and Ryzen 3 3300X is the winner by the number of FPS. In any case, the difference between the results is insignificant, and to sum up, we want to say that in the budget gaming PC build, you firstly need to focus on your budget. Of course, if you want to build the best optimal budget Intel PC, then Core i3 10100 will definitely be the best choice for you. Okay guys, post your comments down below and tell us what budget processor you would choose. Thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, we'll soon show you even more interesting videos. See ya!